you want to see this on your screen one day? Of course you do. I will be giving you the best tips and tricks that I got to help you increase your rank. So let's get into this video. I'll be splitting this video up in 3 parts, which is going to be micro gameplay, macro gameplay, and general tips and tricks. All of these things are really essential to reach Challenger, so make sure you watch this video through. So let's start with the first tip immediately, and I think this is like one of literally the most important. So the first tip is learn your combos. Learn how to combo your champion. So for example, Alistar has a combination that can do this. You know, because if you don't know how to combo it, you're gonna do this. So Alistar might seem like a very easy champion, but there's actually other champions that like Camille, for example. Camille has some insane combos that are actually quite hard to learn. So I'm gonna show you some examples of some combos that might seem easy on a dummy, but are actually really hard in a game. So you do this, for example, you go on him and then you stun him and then you hit him again. These are just like the small little combos that you really need to know. Like for example, even this. See, you have to be able to do them super fast. Be really fluent with your combos. And that is the first tip that you really should understand. So also during the micro part, learn like 2 or 3 champions. Okay, so you have like 60 champions. Pick 2 or 3 and become super good at them. And what I mean with super good is if you pick Camille, for example, then you need to know all the combos. You need to know how to combo everything. Boom, boom. Boom, you know, you need to know how to combo everything. So pick 2 or 3 champions and become super good at them. Okay, I have another thing about the combos. Learn how to flash combo. So for example, boom. Did you see that? So the flash is a very nice thing added to the game. And it allows you to do some amazing combos. And I just missed it, by the way. So as you can see, I need practice too. It allows you to do amazing combos that are really going to be outplaying your enemy, like this. So a lot of champions have flash combos, and I was just playing Alistar, and I want to show you some, like, I just want to show you some examples so you know that I'm not talking crap here. So for example, a combo that Alistar has is this. Boom. See that? These things are gonna bring you from good to super good. Here, let me show it to you again. Boom. Oops, I just failed. Boom. So the way that flash combos work is you click on the ability and then right after you flash. So ability flash. And let me show you why this is way better, because if you do it like this, it takes time. It takes like a few milliseconds to proc it like this. But if you do it like this, boom, you can just pop them back immediately. So learn combos and learn flash combos. Okay, so I just quickly want to mention that the tips and tricks that I'll be giving in this video are not going to be for beginners. This is only for, like, I would say high platinum and emerald and above. This is going to bring your good game to the next level. Okay, so another micro tip is, it might sound easy, CSing. I'm not going to talk too much about it because it's just very obvious. Learn how to CS. Practice last hitting minions, that's it. Enough of this because this is very easy. You just need to learn it. Okay, now we're going to get into the more advanced stuff. So positioning. What do I mean with positioning? Okay, you have to look at what you're playing. I'm gonna give you an example. You're playing Jinx. Positioning means in which position you're standing during a team fight, for example. So when you're playing Jinx, you want to be in the back line. You want your front line to take the damage, and you're gonna be in the back line. And then when you get 1 kill, for example, you go in hard. And every single champion has a different way of positioning. So really learn how to position yourself. Like if you're very squishy, play it safe. Don't go in. Wait for your teammates to go in. Patience is key. And if you're a tank, don't let your squishies go in. You need to go in, okay? So another thing about positioning is lane positioning. So I really, really want you guys to listen carefully here, because this is very valuable information and you really need to listen carefully to what I'm saying. I'm going to give you another example. You're playing lane. You are Orianna against Zed. You know that Zed has a combination, which is using his shadow, 3rd ability to spin around, and 1st ability. This combo of Zed is probably gonna half-life you. How do you position against that? How do you play against that? Let me tell you. So let's say Zed's range is like this. Like this hand is Zed, and the range is here. You're gonna stand here. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So you're barely gonna be out of range of the Zed. And of course, only do this if you cannot make a favorable trade. Which is going to be a point later, by the way. If you're playing against champions that you know are going to want to do combos on you in lane, be careful. Don't go close to them, okay? Also, another example, if you're playing against Malphite, Malphite has his first ability, which he deals free damage. It's a poke ability. So don't go close to the minions unless you can last hit a minion when you're against a Malphite, because Malphite is just gonna throw his first ability on you. It might not hurt once, but if he does it like 3 or 4 times, then maybe his jungler is gonna gank you and kill you, and he's gonna kill you because of that damage. You really need to look forward to it. Don't take unfavorable trades in lane, okay? Understand your matchup. Know which trades you can win, know which trades you lose. And the only way that you can do this is by paying good attention during your games and learning. So even if you lose a game, learn. Especially if you lost your lane, learn why did I lose this lane. And then you look at the trades. You look at, maybe Zed deals more burst damage than Orianna, so I should be a little more careful and stand a little further away from her. See, these are the things that are gonna win you the lanes. Okay, if you understand this, it's gonna win you the lanes. So I have more micro tips actually. So very, very important thing is think ahead of the game. Predict your enemy. Okay, so what do I mean with this? Look at who you're playing against. For example, you're playing against Malphite. You know that Malphite is going to want to ultimate your entire team. Be ready. Have your finger on the flash. If you know the Malphite wants to ult you, because you're the hard carry, have your finger on the flash and look at Malphite. Carefully look at Malphite and try to dodge it when he goes on you. Another thing, if you see the enemy Olaf, if you see the enemy Olaf being aggressive, you can tell that he's likely going to be diving you, especially if you see him use Glorious Enchant, which I have in this game too. You can see the Glorious Enchant, because then you'll see that the enemy Olaf has a burst of movement speed. Go out. Think ahead of your enemy. I'm just going to give you more examples because I really want you to understand what I'm talking about. These are the things that made me a challenger player through SoloQ. So if the enemy has Jhin has an ultimate. Just random examples, okay? Jhin has an ultimate, like a wide range ultimate that can shoot rockets. So you need to be careful if your entire team is very low. If your entire team is very low, don't engage, even if the enemy is also low, because Jhin's ultimate deals bonus damage if you're low. Okay, you need to understand these things. Think ahead of your enemy, predict what they're going to do, and don't get outplayed by them. Okay, so we're gonna get to the next point, which is also gonna be the last point of the micro gameplay. Be unpredictable. Of course, you're gonna predict the enemy, but the enemy is also going to be trying to predict you. So be unpredictable. Don't do the same ganks every time. Don't do the same laning pressure every time. Don't do the same rotations every time. Be unpredictable. Do what they never expect you to do. Hard push a turret if they don't expect you to push a turret. Go to dragon if they don't expect you to go dragon. I'm gonna give you one more example. Today, an enemy Camille in my lane bought teleport boots first item. Now you might be thinking that he's trolling, but he was being unpredictable. And how did they actually almost won that game because of that. So first dragon, I was against the Camille. Camille pushed my lane and teleported to dragon, and the enemies got dragon and killed my entire team. Why? Because of Camille teleport. See, these things, being unpredictable, doing things that people don't expect you to do, this is gonna bring you from this level to the next level. Be unpredictable. Okay, now we're going to be going over the macro tips that I have for you. You're a perfect player now. You know the flash combos. You know all the combos of your champion. You know how to trade. You know how to position. If you know all this, this is step 1. This is gonna make you an insanely good player, but not a smart player yet. There's a difference between a great player and a smart player, which is an insane player. Because if you're great and smart, you're gonna be challenger. These two things are gonna make you challenger. You cannot get challenger with only this. You need this as well, okay? So I'm gonna be talking about this now, which is macro gameplay. When you watch my videos on YouTube, I talk a lot about macro gameplay. So I might say some things that you've already heard, but I'm also gonna be giving you new tips. So, okay. First tip, look at the strengths and weaknesses of your champion. Let me give you an example. Fiora. Fiora's strengths are split pushing, 1v1s, even 1v2s if you're a little ahead. And see, these are the things that Fiora really excels at. What is Fiora weak at? Team fighting. What are you going to try to do with your Fiora? Split push and 1v1s. You need to look at the strengths of your champion. Don't you know, play to your strengths and play to the enemy's weaknesses. Like if you see that the enemy has a lot of split pushing champions, you're going to want to force team fights. Get Baron, get Dragon, just do it because you know that you can win. Let me give you another example, because if one is not enough, I'll give you more. If you have an Alistar in your team and a Lee Sin, these are two diving champions. And what I mean with diving is that they can dive turrets. With this composition, you can do amazing ganks and win your lane incredibly hard. Because Alistar can dive the turret, use his ultimate, and the enemies can't escape anywhere. And if you play to your powers, when you have Alistar and Lee Sin, you're gonna get so many kills because you know that you can gank. And every champion has his powers and his weaknesses. You really need to analyze the champions yourself, see what they have in their kits, and play accordingly to these champions. And do the same for the enemy. Look at the enemy, what are their weaknesses, what are their strengths, and play to their weaknesses. Play to your strengths. This is going to be increasing your win rate massively. Trust me, if you think, you just need to think about this. So think about strengths and weaknesses of your champion, but also of your team. Don't only think about yourself, think about your team. Another example, Fizz is really strong at 1v1s, but Fizz is not good at team fights. So don't just think about yourself, think as a team too. You know, when you're playing Fizz, you want to split push, for example, and get one of the enemies to rotate to you and kill them hard. And you need to communicate that with your team. Tell your team, you know, if you know what the strengths of your team are, tell them in the chat. Trust me, it's going to help a lot. Okay, another thing, lane priority. What does lane priority mean? Lane priority means that you're basically winning your lane. You're pushing your lane, you have more minions, so you have lane priority. If you have lane priority, it means that you can rotate. For example, you're playing top lane, you have lane priority, which means you have more minions and you can rotate, and the enemy is stuck under his turret. Then help your jungler or gank mid lane or do something. You can even communicate with your junglers through pings that you're coming. You know, tell them that you're coming because you can come. And if you can rotate and the enemy top laner cannot rotate, it's an advantage to your team. You always need to look for these advantages, and when you find them and capitalize on them, they're gonna contribute to your win. And all these little things are gonna count so hard because you're gonna win the early skirmishes like this. You know how to play your champs, and it's so important, guys. So when you have lane priority, be ready to rotate and help your team. Okay, another thing, look at the map. Sounds very easy, look at the map. But really, guys, look at the map. Let me give you one general tip. Look at the map every 3 seconds and start with 5 seconds. Start, like, you know, to get used to this, start with looking on your map every 5 seconds. And then when you get better and more comfortable with it, do it every 3 seconds. When you look at your map, what should you look for? Analyze the map. If you see the enemy jungler in the other lane, you can go aggressive. Let's say you're playing a top laner that is way better than the enemy top laner early game. You see the enemy jungler in bot lane, you can go fight him hard. You can even turret diving. If you do not see their jungler, play it safe until you see their jungler. And this might sound super simple, but I see so many people not do it. So look at your map. And this is the simplest way to capitalize on looking on your map. But I'm going to be giving you a little more advanced stuff that is also going to be really good if you look at your map. So, okay, another example. Baron is up. Okay, I just want you to look at the map here. Do you guys see Baron in bot lane here? Yes. Do you see 4 enemies in top lane? Yes. And we could have done something in this game here which would have been way better than what we're doing now. Which would have been 4 people take Baron. Why do you think? Because if you look at the map, you can see 4 enemies in top lane, which means there's only 1 more enemy on the other side of the map. So if 4 of us do Baron, we can take it for free, because if one guy comes, we're gonna kill him. And these are the things that are also unpredictable. The enemy is not going to predict that you're just gonna do Baron. They're not gonna think like, what the hell, you know, they're not gonna be thinking about that. It's gonna be super unpredictable. So if you see a lot of enemies on the opposite lane, for example, do Baron or Dragon, force it, just go for it hard, get it super fast. Because what I see a lot of people do is they only go for Dragon or Baron if they ace the enemy. But there are so many more ways that you can go for Dragon and Baron, which is, as I gave an example, if you see a lot of people in the opposite lane, you can just force Baron, ping it, do it. Okay, another thing. If you win your lane really hard, like you're winning your lane, you're 2-0, 3-0, just stop, okay? Stop winning your lane. What you need to do is rotate and make other lanes winning too, okay? I don't want you to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, because that's not gonna capitalize the most effectively on your win. You know, you want to rotate and kill enemies too. Like if you're winning bot lane super hard, rotate to mid lane, kill the enemy mid lane, invade the enemy jungle, help your team with dragon, help your team with baron. Do that. Don't stick to pushing. And this is so important, because I see a lot of people just like, okay, I see sometimes my teammates being like 5-0 and the enemy being 0-5. So my teammate killed the enemy 5 times. But I don't like that. I prefer to see my teammate having 3 kills and then having rotated to other places and gotten even more kills for me in another lane, or for my mid laner or my jungler. So if you're winning your lane, capitalize on it by rotating to other lanes, okay? Think about this, okay? I really want you guys to take this tip very seriously, because I never see it happen. I always see people try to snowball super hard and just like that. Okay, these are the macro tips that I have for now. Also, actually, just a quick little addition, wards. Learn to ward, you know, ward good spots, make sure you have good vision, and at least one of your teammates need to have the, I don't know what it's called, like the red helicopter, you know, that reveals wards. So if you see that, here, this one, the one that the Rakan just used. If you see that your teammates don't have the red helicopter, you need to get it and use it, because one guy has to have it, okay? That's just a small little warding tip. Okay. Now the general tips and tricks, okay? Keep up with the meta. What do I mean with keep up with the meta? For example, last meta, when Cannon was broken, it was really good to rotate as a Baron laner to the dragon and fight. Now, split pushing is also really good. You need to know this. You need to know all of this. And, you know, I don't want to sound like a stupid self-promoter, but I make YouTube videos and I explain the meta. But people like Xcandro also make YouTube videos, and I really recommend you guys to follow, you know, if you don't only want to watch my videos. Xcandro is a good friend of mine. He makes amazing videos on the meta too. So know the meta champions, because right now Olaf is broken, for example. That's why I'm playing Olaf. If you know what is really good, then get good at it. Like, let's say Olaf is super broken, learn Olaf. Make it one of your champions. You have to do that, because it's just gonna make your chances so much better of winning the game. Learn the meta champions. Okay, one more thing. Okay, this is just for the players that only care about ranking and not really. Okay, let me just tell the tip. If you just really want to rank up super fast, play one role plus support. Just play one role and have your backup role as a support. Okay, why? If you just play one role, like let's say ADC, you're gonna get super good at it, because you only focus on learning how to ADC. You learn how to play that role, and if you only play like 2 champions or 3 champions on the ADC role, you are gonna get super good at them. And why do I tell you that you should also play support? Because people are gonna take your ADC role as well, and when they do that, you need to be able to play another role. And the least liked role is support. So you can always pick support. Like, just tell your team, I'm gonna play support because I don't have my ADC. So learn one role, which is gonna be mid lane, top lane, bot lane, or jungle, plus support, okay? Get super good at that role and play like 2 or 3 champions. And the last tip is gonna be very cliche and gonna sound super stupid, but don't give up. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you like all the other YouTubers like, yeah, don't give up, you can always come back, blah, blah, blah. Don't give up, because in this game, there are late game champions. Do you guys know how many times in a game people spammed surrender when I was playing Jinx and I ended up hard carrying the game? Same goes for champions like Vayne and things like that. The game is not lost. There are just some champions that are really bad in the early game. So the game is over, and I just want to finish this video by telling you this. Don't give up and focus on yourself. Just focus on yourself. Try to win the game. Keep trying to win the game. Don't give up. Even if you're behind, keep looking for ways to farm up. Just your mindset needs to be win, 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 win. Just win, not lose. Win, 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 win. Only win. Okay? Just win. So that was it for today's video. I know that it helped you, because these were some valuable tips. I literally talked about everything. Jesus Christ. I have a dry mouth from talking, man. Oh, man. Ooh. 20 minutes full of well, almost 20 minutes full of talking. I really hope this video helped you guys. A like would be really appreciated. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and yeah, I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video.